Good evening, welcome to Equity Access News. Hippo Valley Estates has been suspended on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange after failing to provide their financial results for the year ended 31 March 2019. ZSE issued a statement today highlighting that the decision was made after Hippo Valley itself requested to be removed from the stock exchange following its failure to publish its audited results for the year ended 31 March 2019. The company had previously requested for a third extension in the results publication, but ZSE refused to grant that extension. Hippo Valley afflictions come after its South African-based parent Tonga Hulett was accused of manipulating its financial results for a couple of years, misinforming investors, subsequently leading to its suspension from the JSE. The Portfolio Committee on Lands, Agriculture, Water, Climate and Rural Resettlement had a Senate sitting in the capital today. During the meeting, a couple of issues were discussed, with most of the proceedings highlighting the loopholes in the Agricultural Marketing Authority. On top of failing to provide evidence for procurement, the AMA was also blamed for the downfall of the cotton industry by a cotton farmers representative. According to the representative, AMA has not been doing enough to prevent side marketing of the crop, and that AMA's clerks are not always on their post, leaving room for farmers as well as companies to practice side marketing. Apart from AMA being labeled as inefficient, the representative also bemoaned a 10% tax rate being imposed by ZIMRA, as it has devalued the cotton farmers' income. Despite tobacco farmers being exempted from the tax paying, the cotton farmers are still being charged a 10% tax rate. Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube has said that government will soon issue new notes and coins to replace the country's bond notes. The return of a fully fledged local currency exchangeable beyond the Zimbabwean borders will be backed by an undisclosed amount of foreign exchange reserves, gold and loans. The finance minister said the government, however, first needs to compile data on the country's reserves before he commented on how much foreign exchange would be used to back the new currency. According to the minister, this will be the first Zimbabwe dollar notes which will trade at par to bond notes. Seems like Russia and Zimbabwe's relationship just got stronger, with Russia said to provide medical training to Zimbabweans and also provide fertilizer to the country. This was revealed during today's post-cabinet briefing. Zimbabwe is said to benefit tremendously from Russian companies, said Minister Muchangwa. It was also disclosed that Zimbabwe has entered into an agreement with Russia regarding the peaceful use of the nuclear. This concludes our evening news. Thank you for watching. Join us next on our Markets Daily segment.
Climbing to the top takes more than just hard work and smart choices. It's the passion that drives you from within, the endurance to keep going through difficult times, and having a very clear vision of how to succeed. That's what we strive for at CBZ. We're a diversified and innovative listed financial services group in Zimbabwe, with a complete range of activities including banking, short and long-term insurance, asset management, and property investments. CBZ has been a pinnacle for stability in the economic landscape of Zimbabwe, stemming from our deep-rooted values, our excellent customer service delivery, and our corporate vision to strive for excellence as a global competitor. Our continuous investment in research and development will cement our promise to provide customer convenience utilizing state-of-the-art technology. Relationships are at the core of what we do. We understand, however, that strong, long-lasting partnerships are not built overnight. With over 3 decades of wealth management, we have come to understand our clients and their specific investment requirements. Our unique mix of skills ensures that investment opportunities are examined from all perspectives. The balancing rocks of Zimbabwe have weathered the elements for thousands of years and stood the test of time, like majestic reminders of the fine balance of nature. They challenge our perception of what is possible and what endures. Just as CBZ has weathered the economic storms and remained steadfast throughout the turbulence of unsettled economies. Achieving the impossible through resilience and stability, we balance the elements of hard work, dedication and experience, making us your ideal partner for success. Climbing to the top takes more than just hard work and smart choices. It's the passion that drives you from within, the endurance to keep going through difficult times, and having a very clear vision of how to succeed. That's what we strive for at CBZ. We're a diversified and innovative listed financial services group in Zimbabwe, with a complete range of activities including banking, short and long-term insurance, asset management, and property investments. CBZ has been a pinnacle for stability in the economic landscape of Zimbabwe, stemming from our deep-rooted values, our excellent customer service delivery, and our corporate vision to strive for excellence as a global competitor. Our continuous investment in research and development will cement our promise to provide customer convenience utilizing state-of-the-art technology. Relationships are at the core of what we do. We understand, however, that strong, long-lasting partnerships are not built overnight. With over 3 decades of wealth management, we have come to understand our clients and their specific investment requirements. Our unique mix of skills ensures that investment opportunities are examined from all perspectives. The balancing rocks of Zimbabwe have weathered the elements for thousands of years and stood the test of time, like majestic reminders of the fine balance of nature. They challenge our perception of what is possible and what endures. Just as CBZ has weathered the economic storms and remained steadfast throughout the turbulence of unsettled economies. Achieving the impossible through resilience and stability, we balance the elements of hard work, dedication and experience, making us your ideal partner for success. Climbing to the top is more than just hard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Markets Daily on Equity Access. My name is Anesi Chimbumu, and let's just get into it. Now, the stock market did come off again today. Both the all-share index and the industrial index did mimic each other again, coming off 0.57% for both of these indices to settle 177.71 points and 592.47 points in that respective order. Now, these two indices are the broader market indicators and are very much sailing very closely to the lower fifth percentile in terms of a year-to-date gain, as it closed today's session at around about 21.55% for the all-share index and 21.63% for the industrials index. Now, top 10 index did come off on a larger scale, coming off 0.84% for it to settle at 162.88 points for after having it settled around about 7.44% weaker on a month-to-date basis. Within the month of August, of course. Now, within that indices, laggards were Cassava, Delta, and Insco. They're coming off about 0.01%, 0.64%, and 1.93%. Old Mutual did also come off again today, coming off 5.23%. Now, just as we just move into our risers and fallers, our total volume that traded did come off about 79%, with 20 counters trading, exchanging hands today, down from 24 in the prior session, which also translated in a pretty huge number in terms of value traded, coming off almost similar to volumes traded, coming off about 76% on a value basis. Now, within our risers and fallers, we had five risers and 8 laggards on the stock exchange. Simbisa, which is a fast food connoisseur, did actually come of bears, coming off 5.68%. Trailing that was Old Mutual, which I already have mentioned. The Insco, which is a top 10 counterpart, also did come off 1.93%, while OK did extend its prior session losses again, coming off 1.59% to settle at 37.75 cents, while Cassava Smart Tech Limited did settle at 128.88 cents after having come off 0.64%. Now, PPC did lead the pack of bulls today, coming out 3.6% to settle at 217.57 cents, while Zimplo, Sitco International Limited, and Art did trail that, coming up 3.48%, 2.2%, and 0.67% in that respective order. Now, capping the set of risers was Econet, that did add a mere 0.22% for it to settle at 129.8 points. Now, both PPC and Old Mutual are dually listed counters that also give us a fungibility rate, or in other words, an implied rate that we can work with as to how much the local currency is costing on a stock exchange basis. Now, the Old Mutual implied rate was around about 16 today, with the JSE counter actually trading in the positive today. In the negative, and then also you'd find out that PPC was around about 1.5 thereabout, but that is a much more smaller counter currently right here in Zimbabwe. It may be a little bit way undervalued at the current moment, but fungibility according to the Old Mutual implied rate is at that. Parallel market rates were around about 10.9 today, while the interbank rate is around about 10.04 today. Now, within the stock market, Tonkat Hewlett, Hippo Valley Estates counter has finally been suspended from the ZEC. This announcement was long overdue, as it was only going to be quite obvious for such business that did happen within its parent company in South Africa would also take place in Zimbabwe. It should only mean a trickle down effect, because the South African counter did actually get suspended from the JSE about a fortnight ago, and we had, I suppose, the local boss was still trying to actually analyze and see if there were any reasons or grounds for suspension for the Hippo Valley Estates counter. But since there were some corruptive manners by the parent, it should only trickle down to the children. And now, from the Equity Access team and I, do not forget to like, follow, subscribe our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at Equity Access, and do visit our website www.equityaccess.net. And good evening.